All right, here's a good story. During the Tang Dynasty, Li Linfu rose to become China's most powerful prime minister. But in his youth, he was a carefree gambler, wasting his days in the streets with no purpose at all. One day, while showing off on a donkey, an old Taoist stopped him and said, "What joy is there in such empty play?" Li scoffed back, "What's it to you?" The Taoist replied, "When you fall from that donkey, you're going to regret it for the rest of your life." Struck by these words, Li realized this old man was no ordinary wanderer. He bowed and vowed to live with purpose. Days later, the Taoist returned. "Your name is written in the register of deities. Cultivate virtue and you'll escape the cycle of rebirth forever. Or," he paused, "you may rule the empire for 20 years as prime minister." Li hesitated. He then smiled. "You know what? Heaven can wait. I'll rule first." The Taoist sighed. "What a pity. You'll now reincarnate for 300 years before you may return." Li then realized what a mistake he made and begged to change his choice. But it was too late. "The gods have seen your heart," the Taoist said. He then warned, "Do not use immoral ways or you will suffer the weight of your deeds." The Taoist then vanished. Li became prime minister, and power consumed him. He betrayed his morals, did business with evil people, silenced the innocent, and ordered unjust killings. Exactly 20 years later, the Taoist appeared at his gate, and Li froze. That night, he was shown his afterlife in a dream, realms of unimaginable suffering shaped by his greed, lies, and bloodshed. Li awoke weeping and pleaded for mercy. "You were twice destined for divinity," the Taoist said. "All you had to do was avoid evil. Now your sentence is doubled. I'll see you again in 600 years. And with that, the Taoist vanished. And that's where the story turns back to us. In my 20s, I dreamed about going into the mountains to find a monk or a Taoist who would test my worthiness for enlightenment. Until I tasted the sweetness of money. I asked myself, if given the choice between being a billionaire or reaching enlightenment in this life, which would I choose? Back then, I would have said billionaire in a second. Now I realize two things. One, you can have both if you let go of the attachment, which is the hard part. And two, when life nears its end, money and fame matter far less than we imagine right now. As it states in the teachings of Falun Dafa, even millionaires and members of the ultra-wealthy have realized at the end of their lives that they in fact have nothing, that material riches cannot be taken with you past this lifetime, and ultimately are empty. By contrast, what makes higher energy so precious is that it does go with you at the time of death. It's carried on by your soul to the start of your next life. And in my understanding, Falun Dafa explains that there are different realms within this universe that our soul transcends to based on the good or bad things we do in our lives. The founder of Falun Dafa, Mr. Li Hongzhou, even wrote a poem titled Realms. A wicked person is born of jealousy. Out of selfishness and anger, he complains about unfairness towards himself. A benevolent person always has a heart of compassion. With no discontentment or hatred, he takes hardship as joy. An enlightened person has no attachments at all. He quietly observes the people of the world deluded by illusion. Now, when I first read this, I realized I was so far away from being an enlightened person. I was that self-centered guy showing off on the donkey. My mind was filled with vanity, attachments, competition, complaints. I had no idea what benevolence was. I also realized I didn't need to go into the mountains. Every moment in life is a test from the universe. Am I worthy enough to return to where I came from? As it also states in Falun Dafa, with every test and ordeal, there's the potential for you to either progress or regress in your spiritual development. Now, do higher beings in other realms actually exist? Well, pretending we know either way is ego, since our tiny human minds can't possibly ever understand life, death, or the universe. Still, I believe I have a soul, which means I believe in spirits, which means I believe in higher beings beyond this realm, right? And isn't it more comforting to think that those we've lost continue on somehow, rather than believing they simply disappear into nothing, especially when neither view has been scientifically proven. So for me, I choose to believe what's been believed for thousands upon thousands of years, that like Prime Minister Lee, we do live on after we die. It's the choices we make in this life that pave our fate. So be kind. It matters. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.